the presumption is that y'all got yourselves to Canada without incident. One specific questions for a couple characters. Did Kim bring guns, and which ones, if so?
So, we're just going into museum, right?
Yeah.
Could I say that I did a bit of research beforehand and looked into this place and like say, hey, which slubs do they get to? Which slubs are they hiring to do security for this place, or is it in house? Is there anything weird?
It's not weird security. It is a professional security company. They do provide armed response services, so the guards will have pistols.
Okay, but
probably, possibly.
Pretty standard. Does anyone else in the group have weapons?
Not that they're talking about.
All right. And I've worked with these guys before. Do they usually bring weapons?
Nope.
Okay, I bring a couple more as a good luck charm than anything else.
Okay.
And I will be bringing up the list of those right now.
Yeah, you've got the 3 guns, every single one of which is illegal to bring into Canada or possess as a private citizen in Canada without pretty extensive licensing, which you do not have, and don't really want to wait the 2 or 3 months that it takes to get a license to transport. Yeah,
I'll
could
bring
not.
The G17. That's easy to hide.
Yeah. Okay, and you could probably disassemble that and hide the pieces among your computer gear pretty easily. Yeah. When they open up the cases going over the border, they're looking for drugs, not firearms. Does Jesse know how to use one?
Probably not. That's why I picked something simple.
I've seen it on the TV. All kinds of dumb people use guns on shows.
So in real life.
Oh, there's Matt.
And we got Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Wow, time has not been kind to Cloissoné. 15 minutes.
I barely recognize you, darling.
I live with a 45-year-old man. I'm an A student.
All right, so he's bringing one sensible handgun. Or is he going to bring Grandpa's revolver, too?
You said sensible handguns, so no.
Okay, so just the one. Sorry, Jesse. If you want to tool up, you're gonna have to scout the mean streets of Quebec City. All right, and also, let's see. Was there a question for anyone else? No, not really. I presume that Dr. A brought his goods over the border seamlessly, as they are disguised as helpless, harmless antacids, and also because drug-sniffing dogs are not trained to sniff out Cipitol, it has no real street presence. Cipitol is actually based on propofol, the drug that killed Michael Jackson. So
I was nowhere near there.
Dr.
A was not there.
Well, and one reason that you preferred Cipitol, which is kind of a niche drug, is propofol is great, but I think Cipitol's a little safer. So,
I'm a nurse, and propofol is an incredibly safe drug. Sorry,
but Michael Jackson.
Yep. Patients ask me that all the time.
The thing I've heard is Michael Jackson would have been fine if his doctor had stayed there all night.
You need somebody to observe you when you're on that. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, so, all my personal experiences with propofol have been wonderful. So
that's what I hear. Yeah.
Didn't he use that for his insomnia?
I'm like, you can go to sleep instantly and wake up feeling great. That's my lifelong ambition. All right, so y'all have trekked up north. Oh, I remember what the other question is. I assume you guys are renting a B&B or something, renting an Airbnb.
B&B for the B&E.
There it is, the Airbnb. Did Jesse do his stuff with burying the thing in the backyard?
This thing?
There it is.
Yes, I did.
You actually made one.
Nice.
Yeah, I did.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Go you, dope. All right. So yeah, you guys saw him burying something in the backyard and muttering, but at the level of weird y'all are used to, this doesn't even register. This is just Monday. So about what time do you guys go to the museum? We're going to open at the museum with you guys going in to scope it out.
Oh,
You wanna
what
be
day of the
doing
week
this-
is this?
It's Wednesday.
Okay, so
You want to go in mid-afternoon and have several hours, or you want to go in like an hour before it closes in the evening? What?
I think going in earlier to give a little more time to scope and maybe not go in all simultaneously.
yeah,
Probably a
looks
good idea.
like. I mean, we are rather a motley lot, so it would look kind of weird if we were all sticking together, I think.
Honestly, the most memorable one is your burglar because of all the tats. Karen is probably a little more fashion forward than the typical museum patron, but not, unusually so. She's not like wearing a dress made out of Kermit the Frogs or something.
Well, at least late enough so that Cloissoné, I just butchered the hell out of that.
Cloissoné.
I don't know French. I don't do French. She's a high school student. It would look kind of weird if she's showing up at 10 in the morning.
She's
Well,
a straight A high school student, so
she could come
they
with
get
me.
grinds.
Her mother's with her. That's fine.
Oh yeah, that's a fair
Maybe
point
there's an
actually.
internship.
Yeah. Show up early. Get this dealt with as early as possible.
All right.
As good cover as any.
So the mother-daughter team is going in. Jesse and Angel and Kim. Kim, are you going in? Or someone staying in the van?
Sure, I'll go in.
I think it's worthwhile for everybody to get at least some idea of what things are like on the ground.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know how much y'all know about Quebec City. I've never been there myself, although after writing this, I kind of want to go. There is a large green space there called Battlefield Park, which it seems to me to be sort of their equivalent of Central Park in Manhattan, where it's the big public green space. And in this case, it's on the top of a cliff. There's Battlefield Park, and then there's this 55-meter drop, and then you get a few houses and one road, and then it's looking out over the St. Lawrence Seaway. That cliff is at about, it looks like an angle about like this. I mean, it's uneven. And it's covered with trees and scrub. So you could climb that. It would not be like rappelling. You would not necessarily need ropes to climb it, but it would be a lot of work and tricky.
Could I climb it? How much
You
of
don't
that? How much of that marine strength I got left?
Well, your arms are
Hang
immense.
it here. I might not need it.
You've got these gigantic buff gorilla arms, but the legs would give out probably about 2/3 of the way up.
Well, that's further than I expected. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, Kim is not an invalid, but it's mostly endurance stuff that is messed up with his leg injuries.
Which, doing the good old gym class rope climb is definitely in that category.
Well, but I mean, you've got the monster arms and the killer grip, so it's a little bit of a balance out. If you had to climb a rope, it might actually be easier for you to just go hand over hand without engaging the legs at all.
That's a good point, actually.
So, but yeah, it's not a huge museum. Let me pull up the floor plan. And can you guys see my pointer here
Yep.
Nice. All right. So the terrace here is a terrace. This is about a 4-foot tall wall, and it's looking out over the cliff face. Over here on the right side, parking lot. In front, you've got sort of benches and some statues. Here's the entry. There's more parking over here. The cafe and the bistro, you can go to both without having to go in through the museum, but you can't really exit them into the museum. From inside the museum, you can go to the cafe and get served inside, or you can come up on the outside and get served outside, but you can't slip in that way easily. I mean, you guys probably could. So yeah, that's what you got. There's more, sort of overlooking the cliff over here. There's a fence and a wall, but nothing. It's mostly to, keep people from falling or accidentally driving their cars over the cliff than a heavy duty security thing. All right. So you go up to who's going in first?
Shall we, Cloissoné?
All right. And into the entryway you go. What you gonna check out?
Karen should go look for the head. I will stick by her so that she doesn't get in any trouble, but I'm also going to see if I can get the attention of a security guard, and I'm going to pitch the perky, interested teenager because I'm a straight A student. Of course, I can check about the possibility of an internship.
Okay.
Good call.
Yeah, you guys are looking around. Are you going to just go up to the entryway and say, we heard you have a 600-pound stone head and we really want to see it? Or are you going to be more circumspect than that? It's a small building, so it's not going to take you long to give a cursory run through.
Yeah, circumspect.
Okay. I'll give you guys a little more of what's what with this. Oops. Am I sharing? Which one am I sharing? The one that's marked up with red or the plain one?
Plain one.
Hang on.
Plain.
Good.
Yep.
You'll get the red one later. So walking through casually, there is an emergency exit here in Exposition Spéciale. You glimpse another one here on this side. Door here, door here. This wall out onto the terrace is all tempered glass, and those are sliding glass doors. So there's a camera here that you think watches out over this this passageway, but it probably is not going to see through that glass with any kind of serious resolution when it's at night, or if the sun is hitting it. If the sun's not right overhead, you probably can't see out through the windows through the camera. So yeah, and the head is on the terrace. It is wide open, it's on top of like a 4-foot tall plinth. There it is, 600-pound, 2-foot diameter head. It's impressive. It's not like really smoothly carved, but there's this kind of raw, primitive power to it. And, this implacable face stares out. All right, so when are the others entering?
I'm going to take maybe an hour or so.
Not
Unless
really necessary. Just 10 minutes later. I think the rest of us stick out enough from the mother-daughter pairing
I'm
that
going to try to do a bit of a notice roll, see if I can see anything outside, any kind of interesting opportunities or security I should be more wary of.
Lay it on me. What'd you get?
nice.
That's an 87 on burglary. So not even with a flip-flop.
Yeah. Oh, outside. You see an attractive. Okay, so Jesse, gay, straight, bi. Someone real attractive walks by, and Jesse's like, "Ooh la la."
Oops.
Sure did notice, all right.
So Jesse has a few minutes of pleasant reverie, and then snaps out of it, and it's like, "Yeah, no, nothing to see here." Back in the museum, what's Dr. Colbard doing when he wanders in?
Well, as soon as Dr. A notices the head, I mean, I presume he would have some kind of memory, or hear from his previous visions, or sort of remembering of the mythology of the thing. So I don't know if that's a roll on hearing Seepatal, or
Oh no, the way hearing Seepatal works is that you inject someone with the drug, and while they're under, you talk to the Seepatal intelligence. You interrogate it.
I see.
So you don't see anything.
I gotcha.
But you've done your own separate research, and you can tell that this is the face of a figure you've seen over and over. You've seen, the painting from decadent France in the 1800s with this face. You've seen the statue of the pharaoh whose name was effaced, and it's this guy. You've seen this over, in art spanning thousands of years and several different cultures. So it's definitely all the same visage. That's pretty impressive. What about Kim?
So, Kim's been through some shit. How obviously, or does he even at all have sort of the constant situational awareness thing that tends to go on with PTSD?
No, he doesn't have a serious PTSD thing. He was not a frontline infantry grunt.
Yeah,
he was, for the most part, you've heard the phrase a fobbit, guy who just is always at the forward operating base. That was mostly Kim, except for this one damn time.
Yeah.
So,
and I learned my lesson that time pretty well. So I'm pretty much just going to mill about looking like a normal museum patron. And until I reach the head, and I'm just going to kind of scope out the area. One, I want to read the plaque.
Okay.
What exactly is this thing's significance? I've seen it before. I know I've seen this thing before, but
yes, it's definitely the same.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you see it, you take a deep breath and you're like, the air smells the same. It's, that nasal sense memory.
Yeah.
The plaque says that this is the head of an entity. It's estimated to be about 3,000 years old. It was removed from a mound in Ohio, from the mound builder culture era, and is believed to depict an entity they knew as the bone setter of days and years, who seemed to be this powerful but not entirely, outside the categories of good and evil or helpful or harmful. It was this intermediary between humankind and a larger realm of nature or a larger spirit world.
Okay, I get to know the Kenyan are involved. So after that, I just kind of like to scope out my surroundings. And
Are all three of you just hanging out around the head?
I don't think I am. I'm going to make sure that I get a good look at the guards and what they're wearing specifically.
Oh, yeah.
To see if I can get an idea of the sort of uniform they have and if maybe they change into it here.
It's UPS brown. It's pants and a polo shirt, gun belt, but it looks like they wear their own shoes. There's no neckwear. They've got ordinary name tags, just like the docents and museum staff.
Understood.
Not even logo ball caps.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Our who's our B&E expert here? Who has that?
That's Jesse.
Jesse. Yes. Thank you. Jesse, is there any chance you could make your way back to the locker room and out of one locker specifically, swipe me 2 items of clothing that might belong to the same person? That could be very, very useful to us.
I think I can give that a shot, yes.
You can probably not right now, unless you want to just fly in there blind and fumble around. You have no idea what the where the locker room is, or if people are changing at home and bringing their clothes and not leaving clothes at work.
Yeah, is the map that we've seen the extent of the building, pretty much? Or is there like
and it's just one floor. It's a small museum. It's not super expensive. It looks like it was built in like 1989 and has been well maintained, but it's still a lot of displays and placards and dioramas and not like interactive touch screens and hologram display stuff.
And there just doesn't look like there's room for a locker room in the floor plan anymore.
The hashed area is likely an admin area, is my thought. But I'll watch the comings and goings and see if I see anybody go off shift or something like that.
So I just pulled up the floor plan with Jesse's notes.
Good job, Jesse.
So yeah, the ladies spotted these 2 emergency exits. There's another door outside tucked away back here that is where the cafe dumps its trash. And, you see the entryway to here is a locked door and nobody goes in or out. It's labeled, museum staff only. Mm-hmm. Cameras here, and here cover almost all of the exteriors. There's a little area here where that's a blind spot, but you can't get to it unless you basically tunnel in from outside. The courtyard here is open to the sky up above, but there are sort of hooked spikes at the top to discourage people and wildlife from climbing down and crawling into the museum. Another camera here, so hard to get from the front door really anywhere without going through a couple camera lines. Here's where the guards are, and here's where the head is.
What do we got as far as security around the head on like a technical level?
It doesn't look like there's any particular security for that. It's not a grossly valuable piece. It is a grossly heavy piece. Yeah. Where they've put their security attention is the small gold statuettes in the Mesoamerican display that if you get through the glass, someone could shove them down their pants and run out the front door with them.
Yeah.
Nobody's just going to casually pocket a 600-pound stone head. They are trusting to its worthlessness and massiveness to keep it protected.
So, at the bottom of the 80-foot wooden cliff, is there grass? Is there water?
There's backyards and fences and swimming pools and houses. Okay. If you try and roll it down that cliff, it's going to be bouncing off trees. So there's a real question about whether it would survive the roll. Mm-hmm. And once it hit the bottom, I don't know the physics math of 600 pounds rolling down a steep incline for 55 meters, but that's got to be a pretty huge moment of inertia. That's going to be enough to stave in a car if it hits it, maybe roll over it completely, flatten that shit like Bigfoot, or go through the wall of somebody's house.
Like Plinko, you never know where it's going to end up.
Yes.
Somebody has a new living room ornament. Yeah. So
Well, I can get us in there after closing. I can, or at closing, I can remain invisible and open up things from the inside, invisible, including to the cameras.
Yes.
If that would be useful to us.
You know, if that would help.
Invisibility in a burglary? No, useless.
But that said, I can only render myself invisible. I don't think I could do it for anybody else.
Is there anything else you're going to check out around the museum, and how long are you going to be there?
Could I like just kind of scope out security and give
So you're checking it out. Yeah. You're like, okay, every window has a
people?
magnetic lock. If that breaks,
also like the team. What's
How many people?
How many people are these guys? Like obvious professionals. You know, I've dealt with Marines, so I figure I can get a decent sense of them. That everything.
They are not holding themselves with the rigor of a Marine on like embassy duty, but they're not phoning it in either. These are a cut above your mall cops. You know, there's stuff in here that is worth hundreds of thousands, maybe even $1 million. So, you know, you don't send in the scrubs for that. You can pick up some silly string, yes.
What is the most valuable item that they have?
They've got several gold statues and masks in the Mesoamerican exhibit that you're looking at those and you're like, oh, there's the pressure plate. And, that's one of those sensors inside the glass where if the air pressure changes, the glass case is pressurized. So to get into it, the pressure drops as it outgasses, and then the alarm goes off on top of any other alarm they've got in there. It would not surprise you a bit if there's a pressure plate under that gold stuff because, you know, gold's heavy. As you are looking at the gold, this figure comes up beside you, and you can't tell if this is a man or a woman. It's a person who has really seemed to pare down their gender presentation a lot. And part of this is that they are wearing a plain hoodie, tracksuit kind of setup. Let me find.
So less trying to make a statement, more leading into
trying to
ambiguity.
not make a statement.
Yeah.
Trying to make a lack of statement.
Uh,
Let me get through to find the picture of this individual. Here we go. Pretty much this.
all right.
Yeah,
Can I even
just
see their face?
not very well.
All right.
Mr. Robot Chic.
So that's someone that's hanging out by the gold, maybe breathing a little bit heavily,
Okay.
saying, hey, what do you think?
Yeah, interesting.
I prefer those onyx pieces in the back.
I look at the onyx pieces.
They're pretty cool. It's like they're a little too detailed for my taste, but a little more sedate than the gaudy solar metal, you know?
Yeah,
You can tell so much how a culture presents itself with its adornments. The what you might find gaudy might indicate a signal of rank or presence to someone in a different culture. I think that judging things such as you're doing, my friend, are perhaps a bit premature. What is your interest in such vestments?
Oh, just casually looking at cool stuff. Nothing, not a scholar. As you're speaking with this person, you can tell that there used to be a logo on the sweatsuit on the sweatshirt and on the back, and the stitches have been picked out. So this person is wearing carefully de-logoed clothing.
Do you suffer from a bit of the Case Pollard syndrome, sir, where or person where logos offend you? I see a little bit here, and I'll run my finger lightly over the spot where it was rubbed off.
Mom.
They're cold. Not, unusually, but just a little cooler than you expect, temperature-wise. And they say, it's not a matter of the Case Pollard syndrome. I'm not sure who that is so much as I just want things to be simple. I feel that there is an excess of encumbrance. It occludes the perception of things as they really are.
How is this guy reacting to how handsy Karen's being?
Doesn't seem to like it much, but not like swatting her hand away.
Yeah. Obviously tense, but not like backing away.
Yeah.
Okay, but I've touched their clothes, and that is what.
Oh yeah, cast your spell.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna break a significant charge into 10 minors, and cast my garment tag.
All right. So Cloissoné, are you embarrassed by your mother pawing this complete stranger, or is that a leading question? Oh man, did we lose Matt?
Matt is stuck in a
He looks very
expression
puzzled.
of
He looks so
skepticism,
pensive.
Yeah.
Damn it.
When you're so embarrassed, you just freeze.
So I
He
Okay,
could have frozen
maybe
like this. So
yeah. Exit and re-enter the Zoom call. You should be fine.
damn this internet. Well, we all felt that once or twice.
Well, hell of a time to feel it with
Especially
So-
Kim.
while the two of you are talking with this somber individual,
I've backed off by this point.
you're like, let Karen deal
Karen,
with
in
it.
the literal and figurative sense, has come in and seems to be keeping his attention.
All right. Is anyone by the head? Dr. Jesse?
I'm still back there, kind of scoping out the area around it. Yeah.
Jesse has actually strolled up, really relaxed looking.
Somebody else has shown up. In fact, two people have shown up and are checking out the head as well. One of them looks like this,
That guy.
and the other looks like this.
Specifically the head, though, not the gold or onyx.
Right.
Oh yeah, the golden onyx, that's in the Mesoamerican stuff. The others are off in the terrace. So you're at
Understood.
pretty much off opposite sides of the building. When the man with the sheepskin collar and the beard is like, oh, it is even more exquisite than I had anticipated. And the woman's like, yep, exquisite. And he's like, oh, he's just walking around it, gazing at it, rapt. And he's like, yes, yes, yes. Can't you feel it coursing with the primal energies? And she's like, I can't say that I do feel it coursing with primal energies. She's kind of looking nervously around.
I want to act a little dumb. I actually want to approach him, just kind of talk to him and say, I do not know much about these. What energy do you speak?
Oh, well, there is the primal energy of reality, nature, wild, red in tooth and claw, and yet arising from that, we construct a human culture, weaving it together in the ways that ancient men might construct a dwelling out of branches and roots. And this seems poised right at the juncture, the liminal space where wild becomes civilized.
Liminal. Mountains.
Wait, what was that? I missed it.
Liminal? like in the margins, but in a silly accent.
Okay. And he's like, yes, I must attune myself. And he like starts pulling his chest open and revealing all this chest hair. And the woman just turns red and kind of wedges her hands between her knees and backs off to a bench and sits down.
I walk up to her and just ask, do you need any help with this guy? Yes.
She just shakes her head. Oh no, he's fine. He's fine. Just a little flamboyant.
All right.
Not in a, I'm not judging him or his stuff and things, but he just, he doesn't hold back. She is dressed in like mom jeans and a twin set, and she has this big purse. And it almost looks, as she's moving, like the purse, like the side of the purse bulges out just for like a moment, as if there was a small animal inside moving.
Okay.
But,
right.
But maybe you just imagined it.
Well, okay.
Oh, where are my manners? I'm Kelly. And she holds out her
Kim.
hand. Hi, Kim.
I shake her hand. Yeah, just if this guy, you seemed a bit uncomfortable, so I figured this guy's bothering you.
No. I'm having a great day, she says somewhat unconvincingly.
All right.
We're in the same tour group, so we wanted to come here, and I wanted to see the and she like pulls out the English brochure and looks around, and she's like, the French colonial exhibit seemed really interesting, but he likes the older, more ancient old things,
Liminal.
Yeah.
Yeah, lemon
So
oil.
what's his deal exactly? Is he just like this?
He's just like that. He's just living his way. His way, apparently involves pulling out a packet of some kind of herbs and making a circle around the head. And he's muttering.
Security doing anything about this?
Security has come out, and two of them are standing there kind of folding their arms and looking confused, and one of them talks to the other, and the other's like, they mutter at each other in French.
Illegal.
If I've wandered out from the gold section of the museum at this point, does this look like it could conceivably be a ritual of some sort?
I don't know. What does a ritual even look like? A guy pulling his shirt completely open, crawling on the ground, snuffling at the grass.
Like that. It looks like that.
In, what sounds like ancient German. If that's a ritual, then sure, fine. It looks like he's performing a ritual.
Is there any, interesting tattoos I'm seeing on this guy?
Nope. His skin is unmarked. Well, he's got a couple, minor scars, but...
I can perform ritual. Can I kind of, try to look at the symbolism, see if I get it at all?
I was
sure.
looking to do the same thing with my Vestimancer skill and minor magic usage.
Okay. 15.
All right.
I got a 46.
Okay. It's less clear to Karen because, Karen sees everything as being about clothing. And this is not about clothing. He seems to
It's
be...
about lack of clothing.
Not yet. He's got more chest hair showing than Travolta in the 70s. But what Jesse picks up on is that this is an attempt to... It seems like some kind of energy alignment and identification where he's he wants to awaken the head and make it aware of his presence. and bring himself more fully into perception of it. Like he wants to understand it on multiple levels beyond what is just visible to the eye. And as you're standing around watching it, this big ass dude comes up behind you and says, "Hey, why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer."
Says to the fellow doing the ritual, sheepskin.
No, to
Us.
Jesse.
Oh.
And he looks like this.
Oh.
Oh,
So just big ol' strapping lumberjack of a man. And sort of right behind him, sort of occluded in his shadow, this, pretty wee slip of a thing.
I had forgotten. That's a very good idea, sir. Dr. A takes out, he's got a big old professional camera, and he's going to start taking pictures of everybody on the scene.
And the big guy kind of interposes himself and says, "Hey, haven't you heard of something called privacy?" And one's like, "Honey, maybe you don't." "Did I ask for your opinion?" And he glares at her, and she just shrinks back like.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
From a heat source.
Interrupt anyone's privacy. This artwork, as he says, it's very liminal. There's a lot of interest about it. I'd like to get a very good documentation of it. When I go home, maybe make some prints. Would you be interested in some of the prints? You can hang them or frame them or study them at your leisure. Just kind of basically,
And he continues to loom over you and glare down aggressively and is, taking a very confrontational pose. What are the rest of you doing? The guy with the herbs, sits back like this. And the woman with the purse is just shaking her head. Who y'all talking to?
Did Karen's earlier spell have an effect, or?
The one she cast earlier was to track the dude in the tracksuit.
Right.
Is he still around?
So they seem to have sort of faded off into the shadows, as if concealing themselves, or as if embarrassed by the spectacle being performed by the guy who's putting his sheepskin jacket back on. And, claps his hands and rubs them together. And he says, "Kelly, what would you say to a fine steak dinner?" And she's like, yeah, that sounds great. And, it's like, "Capital." And he's like, "Oh, did you get a good picture? Do you want my good side?"
No, thank you. I was really more interested in this art here, but it is quite a profile.
I find it entirely too effortful. Look at how the form is contorted. It's all been and comes over and is looking at the clay. He's like, "Look, the clay clearly wanted to go one direction, but the artist had a vision and forced it into this unnatural posture. I find it grotesque."
Interesting. Perhaps he did have a vision. Perhaps he had heard it. Perhaps he had seen it. You talked about the liminal spaces, and I have some experience with that myself, but perhaps you do as well.
Oh, I have traveled the margins, my friend. Count Volpo, at your service.
Dr. Coulbard, out of character, I definitely need to inject this guy. We need to get him away from the big guy. Anyway, Dr. Coulbard, good to meet you. What brings you here? Just this piece, or?
Oh, no, I'm interested in all the courses of our cultural buffet. Yourself? Now, doctor, is that are you a educator, a professor, or is that a medical doctorate?
Retired physician in the States.
Indeed.
Studying more of the human, more specifically the human condition than perhaps. But as it
A
intersects,
complicated field and one yielding endless benefits to a student who possesses the traits of diligence.
Yes, I have found the same.
And the big guy's like, I think we're gonna miss the next thing on our tour if we don't leave here soon. And he looks over at Karen, kind of glowers at her, looks over at Cloissoné, just seems confused.
Hi.
Could I get a read on this guy? And I keep on hearing these. Actually, no, I'd like to get this read on Kelly. I keep hearing this stuff about, a tour. Is there any way I can actually? Darn it! No, I don't have reads on natural or anything like that. Never mind.
You could try to observe these people and see,
Something about these people is, the count seems pretty straightforward, but the
For some
rest,
definition of
this is a rather interesting crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, how should I go about getting a read for them then?
just give me a notice.
All right.
See what you can pick up off the cold read.
That is a 32 versus my 50.
Okay. Man-Steel is a gym rat. You can tell that. He's got the definition that you only get from isolating a muscle group and really working it so it pops. He doesn't have the build of a laborer necessarily, although from the calluses on his hands, it looks like he might have been one at some time.
Does he look like he's actually, as far as I can tell, is he actually tough or someone that just is trying very hard to seem like he's tough?
His nose has never been broken. His ears aren't cauliflowered, but looking closer, you can see there's like a blood blister on one of them. Yeah, it's weird.
What about Kelly and the mouse that he has following him around?
Yeah, the woman, you cannot get a read on the woman who's following the big guy.
Yeah.
She is clearly very content to stay in his shadow and be unobserved. And she just kind of goes off by herself and watches while he provokes reactions. The other woman just seems like a combination of exasperated and worried, and underneath it all, her expression is exasperated and worried, but the lines on her face and the shape of it looks to you like her more habitual expression is sad.
As far as I can tell, do these people seem to know each other pretty well, more so than one could expect from just, hey, we're in a tour group together?
Impossible to determine.
Damn.
Are either of the women wearing jewelry, maybe a ring, something of that nature?
Yeah.
Especially a ring?
The slender woman has a ring on her, no wedding ring, but a simple silver band on her right forefinger. She's got earrings and a necklace. The other woman has a wedding ring on her left forefinger.
That's the mousy woman with the bodybuilder?
No, that's the woman with the big purse.
Understood. I'm going to do a couple of things here.
You heard Count Volpo refer to her as Kelly.
Kelly, yes. I'm going to say it's so embarrassing sometimes. I'm going to take her hand and hold it in mine momentarily and try to connect with her, at least showing some concern on some level. It's such a concern when your partner is such an embarrassment to you in public. I feel as though I've been through the same thing myself. As I'm doing so, I'm making sure to touch that ring and casting Soul Last Season. And as the ring is always on her finger, hopefully we'll be able to see what her relationship, or if she's had any
Oh,
other strange dealings with Count Volpo or possibly the other folks.
okay. So you're doing this on Kelly or on the thin woman?
On Kelly, I was going for.
Oh, on Kelly.
Yes.
Okay. And so you're looking for significant events in the past of her ring.
Right. Which I'm hoping that she wears, very frequently.
Okay.
So I'll spend the 3 charges for So Last Season and attempt this.
Yeah, you see an important thing that happened that's related to her relationship to the ring. You see her lying on the ground, screaming, clutching her side, blood pouring between her fingers, and the vision sort of pans, and you see something moving, something about this big, and it's like a grungy purple, but you only see it for a second. And then there's a gunshot, and you see a man catch a bullet in the face, and he just falls.
Did the gunshot come from Kelly or from off screen somewhere?
Vision's over. Give me a violence check.
Yeah, that's fair. That is, I'm resisting that with
Fitness.
Not my best. Okay. I fail that. That is a 96.
Ooh. Okay. How do you choose to freak out after seeing this horrendous, violent episode in her past?
I will freeze. I will stay paralyzed. I guess that's it. It's the
okay. And
reaction.
As you do that, she turns to you and she's like, "What?" You can't say anything. You're just there, ash white, sweating buckets, sitting on a bench in the terrace, and you see her purse move.
Is there anything purple poking out of it?
She unzips it, reaches her hand in. You can't see, but you can't look away. And she's, doing some violent movement and, leans in and whispers something into her purse, but you can't tell what. And then she gets up and she looks at you and just says, "Don't." And then turns and walks away.
Let me know when I'm able to do.
Yeah, you're just sitting there. You're sitting there, slowly breaking your fingernails against the granite bench, immobilized by shock.
These cost $150 a week ago. There's still time on these. That's terrible.
I want to assess.
Cloissoné, you can tell your mom is freaked out, and the other maternal woman is leaving the scene. And once she's out of sight, your mom kind of, her breathing slows a little bit. But, Count Volpo has noticed. The big guy's noticed. He looks like a bull that just got hit between the eyes with a sledgehammer. And Count Volpo sweeps over. "What is it, milady? What troubles you?"
If I'm able to respond.
Oh,
Cloissoné, please, I'm being attacked. A sudden attack of my condition. Please, escort me out.
Yeah. So can I say?
Yes, excuse me, Clear Path. Yes, she's a friend of mine. She does. She suffers from a seizure disorder, and sometimes this can happen. If you could all excuse me, I'll help her out. Her daughter and I will help her out.
While this scene was going on, because everyone was distracted for a good, let's say, solid 5 minutes at least, while this display happened, I'd like to just get a real good look at any security panels I can see around. I want to know what these guys are dealing with. I want to know what this place is set up with.
Well, I'll give you the rundown after you leave the museum, and you and Jesse can compare notes, and all the pictures you took with your phones where you're like, "Oh yeah, look at this World War II era Canadian uniform," and you're actually taking pictures of the cameras and security stuff.
One other thing I wanted to do before VP guy left, I wanted to assess his unnatural meter.
Okay.
If people
You'd have
look like
to talk to him to find out how weird he is. You've talked to the Count. You can assess the Count.
I was thinking, like, as a carny, of course, we can just look at someone, kind of get a read on
The
them, see if
cold
they're
read?
funny over
Yeah.
here.
All right. Yeah, okay. You can gauge from his reaction to Volpo's outrageous behavior.
All right. So I'm rolling under carny.
Yep.
97.
Nice.
Oh.
He's a wizard! Occult might roils off of it. No, you don't know. He's just some dude in a green t-shirt. You cannot tell one way or the other.
Oh.
Ooh.
Can I re-roll using one of these? Does he look like an idiot at all?
He looked like... Yeah.
He doesn't look like a Rhodes Scholar, but he, also doesn't look like... If you were trying to fleece him as a mark, you'd be like, he's not the ripest mark. He's not, but, pretty good. Like B plus level mark.
Okay. I was wondering if I could re-roll using idiots with advantages rage.
No, he doesn't seem like that much of an idiot.
Didn't think so. All right.
Okay. Anything else y'all are doing at the museum before you, reconvene to plot and scheme?
Is there any security response to my mother having a seizure?
Oh, yeah. One of the guards rolls up and, is like, do you need help, ma'am? And, takes her arm. So, yeah, you're leaning against this guy. He's probably in his mid-40s, heavy set. Smells like he smokes.
Okay. I ask him if there's someplace quiet I can sit down for a few minutes and be alone. It's just the what that man over there was doing. I point to Count Volpo and the head. I play up the menopausal new age lady vibes as much as possible. I was just overcome.
Yes,
just overcome.
Come with me. There's a bench out front. The air is fresh. We can sit there. Are you sure you do not need me to summon you an ambulance?
Absolutely not. I'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, he sits you down, pulls on some gloves and takes your pulse and, kind of checks your eyes, basic first aid rundown.
Sure.
Dr. A, you doing anything with this?
So he looks like he knows what he's doing medically, basic first aid at least.
Basic first aid. He's making sure she's not having a concussion or a grand mal seizure or, a stroke.
Yep.
Nothing litigatable, essentially.
Well, I mean, she wouldn't be able to sue him if she stroked out in the museum. He's probably checking because he wants her to be okay because he's, not a sociopathic monster, maybe. His job is to look out for unusual stuff at the museum. So, yeah.
The one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to certainly I'm going to get him to sit with me for a little while. When he gets rid of those gloves, I'm going to make sure, if at all possible, I can discreetly take them because they might be useful for garnering a passcode or something like that later, since that's part of his job.
Okay. Yeah, you can. Give me a secrecy roll to steal those.
Understood. Secrecy. Okay, got it.
Based on unnatural. Oh, yeah.
29.
So you succeed?
I do.
Yeah, you grab another pair out of the first aid kit, wad those up. As you're mumbling to him, you just make the exchange. You get his sweaty ones and replace them with the clean ones.
Okay, very good.
Jesse himself could only have done it slightly better.
Nice.
All right, and yeah, y'all are out. So, what do you do next?
Well, we go back to the Airbnb, and
Okay.
that one's sticking. And yeah, I guess I would want to know what exactly this place set up here. You know, do the general hacker man, hack the Gibson type shit.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let me read down the entry on the tech. So what you and Jesse figure out and agree on pretty quickly, the camera's closed circuit with battery backup. You can't hack these remotely because they're air gapped. Yeah. It's, none of this stuff is super high tech, but all of it is competently installed and used. All the glass stuff, the main doors and the doors onto the terrace are pretty thick. You could smash them, you could cut them, but it would be loud and effortful. Let's see, I mentioned the magnetic locks. So you open one of those or break it, it's going to probably sound some kind of alarm unless you spoof it or, bypass it.
A question, Greg. The gloves for dress for the job you want, would that allow me to hit a passcode or something like that the guard who handled them would know as part of his job to shut down security or something like that?
If there was a passcode to know, but there's no keypads by the doors.
Okay.
They went with tangible keys.
Got it.
Classic.
So, on the plus side, you won't have a keypad to disarm. On the downside, you could have probably disarmed that more easily than you could. Although Jesse's pretty good at not so much picking locks as destroying them. There's a book called The Burglar's Guide to the City, where the author goes to a lock sport club and meets this police officer who's teaching him how to pick locks. He's like, "Aren't you worried about teaching people how to pick locks?" He's like, "Criminals don't pick locks." It's like, "What do you mean criminals don't pick locks?" He's like, "Picking a lock requires skill, time, finesse, effort. All these things are in short supply when you are trying to break into a building. It's so much easier to drill it or to force it or to, work around it." It's like a pretty good burglar is much more likely to gain access with a Milwaukee power saw and just, ignore the door and go through the wall. So the author was an architectural critic and became interested in burglary as a critique of the use of space. It's pretty great.
What's the name of that book again?
A Burglar's Guide to the City.
It's a very Unknown Armies sort of title.
So, what are we dealing with for an alarm system?
Well, it looks like all the glass stuff is, as soon as you disrupt the plane of it, it's got wires baked into it that if you break it or cut it at any point in the surface, that alarm's going off.
So, judging by how old this building is and how successful this building is, would we think, or any research we can do, would we think that the alarm is like a digital hookup, or if it's dealing with an old landline that we can get into Epic Crunch style?
You don't know. By which I mean I don't know. But it's probably digital. I mean, it's very rare. This place has got a decent budget. The Contemporary Art Annex is new, so their budget's big enough. They're going to have something modern, which will be harder to spoof. Yeah. Maybe easier to access, but harder to spoof. But they seem to be, whoever they've got doing their firewall stuff seems to have their shit wired pretty tight. Yeah. So let's see, what else we got? Oh, the emergency exits on the side are steel doors with crash bars. and no knobs on the outside. They're double doors, but the one going to the parking lot on the right was not installed correctly. There's a gap between the strike plate and the latch. Those are supposed to be super tight. It's not super tight. So Jesse's like, oh yeah, all I need is a big gulp cup. That's really just got the perfect texture and flux to get in there and get past that latch.
Did we see the picture of the cameras that you showed us with the red?
I've uploaded it, but I will show it to you again.
Very good. I did not see that.
I actually took a screenshot of it,
Beautiful.
all sneaky, and then I realized you uploaded it.
Yeah, this is not secret. This is not secret stuff. So this is the inexpertly installed door. This door was installed by someone paying attention.
Got it.
So what are you thinking? How do you guys think you're going to, and the danger in all games where you have something set up like this is that y'all will bog down in, theory and
The same blades in the dark.
What if this happens? What if this happens?
What if this happens? Yeah, so tell me how you would steal this and describe it to me going perfectly.
How do we move a 600-pound thing?
Yeah, this is pretty much a logistics issue more than anything.
Right.
Well, they moved it on site. There must be some sort of pallet jack or something like that.
Not necessary. How long has the head been at this museum for?
Since 2003.
And how often do they swap out exhibits?
In special expositions, those are in and out like every 2 or 3 months. But the rest of it, they move stuff around, but the head's been there a pretty long time.
So pallet jack, maybe not.
Maybe
but
not.
You could probably move it on a heavy-duty doily. You would estimate 3 of you could certainly tip it off the plinth onto a padded doily. That would be a job for padded crowbars.
How rollable is this thing?
It's round. You might knock the nose off.
Do we care? Do you care, Dr. A?
Yes, I believe.
Right. It would probably be easier to move it on, a pallet jack than rolling it under its own weight.
Okay, that's something that's easily rentable, or perhaps even jackable if one of you shadier types wish to.
You could buy one with
yourselves.
cash. It's within your budget.
Okay, in that case.
I was thinking, what about a wheelbarrow at, I don't know, what's the Canadian Home Depot? And
I believe
they just spell it with a U.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I thought it was just Home Depot. So mean to those poor Canadians. They never did anything to me.
Get Karen to kind of dress a bit like a gamekeeper, like a gardener, that kind of thing. Cover it in some dirt and roll it out.
And this thing's pretty small. It's just heavy as hell, right?
It's 2 feet in diameter.
Okay.
But yeah, 2 feet of granite is 600 pounds.
Jesse, did you see anything interesting about the wall? Like any vulnerabilities in any of the walls? Because if we can get through,
There's only one camera that I'm seeing.
yeah. Well, I'm thinking that if we can get through the terrace to Arts Contemporary and there's some windows there, then we're home free.
Oh, so no, there's windows here, but they're out over the cliff.
Oh shit!
So, the right emergency entrance, and then the terrace door on the right, lead right to the head. There's only the Exposition Especial camera looking through the doorway.
There's the one next to the cafe too, that probably
Yeah.
all the way down the hall.
But Greg did specify that glare from the windows would probably prevent it from seeing through the windows all that well.
Yeah, but it would see you going through here.
Right.
Through the hall.
I pull out a can of silly string.
Oh. That's your answer to the cameras?
spray it on the camera lens.
It's obvious, but I mean, it's also going to be pretty obvious that this thing's fucking stolen. So I don't think we're going to be able to go.
Yeah, but if they don't look until the morning, that's better. If you can,
as long as they don't see us, is the big thing.
Right.
I also got a little bit of the herbs that he spread around the thing. We can spread it somewhere, blame it on him. They're going to search for that guy.
He did seem awfully enthusiastic about the head, but with cursory examination, I mean, you guys are not under an intense time pressure, so you can stake the museum out by night.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, you're going to discern that, no, guards are coming in and going out. So it seems like there's probably 3 guards there at night.
Okay.
So could I do a stakeout by night? And something I would like to try to keep look non-suspicious as I do this, or look not there at all, ideally. And I like to have this close enough so that I can use my phone to register all of their phone numbers, just like that. Presumably they have cell phones on them, and just take any information that I can off theirs by the Wi-Fi or getting a.
Give me a hacker roll to try and get their phone identities.
Nice. Actually, I kind of want to stick out a little bit. I'm the thing I'm getting from Kim is that between being a Marine and being a computer hacker, there's a sick part of him that enjoys all this shit.
Oh, sure. It may not even be that sick.
Yeah, thrill seeker. There's a lot of more practical ways of protecting the general public. Hey, what did I get here? That is a 98.
Ooh.
Nice.
Wow. All right.
It's not double, so I'm happy there.
Somehow, the security guards at work protecting priceless treasures have been briefed on basic IT security.
Fuck! I was hoping against that. This is the first time I've ever dealt with this problem.
Everyone else is like, it's okay, it happens to every man. Not me, damn it!
But do they come to work dressed, or do they change at work?
They show up dressed.
All right.
I mean, they're just in like nice suits, right? It's nothing that you really
It's
need.
just a real basic uniform, brown pants, brown polo shirt, and a gun belt. So,
Yeah,
all
what
right.
are they strapped with?
I'm sorry, what?
What guns are they using?
Looks like just like what you've got, a Glock 9mm handgun.
All right.
So, now, what is the normal sort of Seepital protocol? Am I usually dosing somebody in the cabal here? Am I usually finding like a homeless person? Like, my idea is we have some of this herb. We have some nice high-resolution pictures of all of these, people, weird other people that were at the museum. We've got a guy's glove. Like, this is smelling like, gutter magic to me. This is smelling like, what does the Seepital think we should do? But I have to dose someone. So, like, normally, and that may be a question for, how do we see that in the cabal?
Yeah,
do I waylay a hobo and,
What? Waylaying a hobo,
not a thing that Dr. A would do, really. So I don't see that.
Is that his style?
Not really at all, no.
All right. Are you going to ask for a volunteer to go into a light coma?
Fair. Yeah. I mean, I raised the idea. Let's see what people think.
What are the side
Suggesting that there could be some information, some insight, mystical.
Sure, go for it.
There we go.
Who are you going to dope?
Well, it seems like Kim is volunteering himself.
Okay, given your history, you're okay with this? Given Kim's history, you're okay with this?
That's the thing. Well, I trust Dr. A, and there's also the fact that it was under similar circumstances where I talked to the head before, so we have the head and I have a bit of a rapport.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've been helping Kim out. I think he would probably trust me. Helped him with that habit
right.
that he had.
And, Cipotal does not have a history of addictiveness. I mean, you can get addicted to anything, but it's not something where people are like, I just got to have more.
It's not opiate.
It's
I'm
not an
super
opiate.
worried.
Yeah. Oh.
Does the rest of the cabal know that Kim had a drug problem?
I don't like to talk about it, but I figure we've known each other for long enough that you've picked up about something like that eventually.
Okay, Cloissoné has a problem with this then.
Well, I don't know that I'm necessarily saying it out loud. I'm just expressing that as a justification why Kim and I might go down that, might be comfortable with doing that. I mean, if Kim wants to say something about it, that's obviously on him.
Cloissoné, okay. I get the concern. This is nothing like morphine. This is not... You don't get addicted to this stuff. It's just... I appreciate it, but it's... Like, this isn't... I've dealt with vets, like buddies of mine. I've seen a lot of people deal with smack. This isn't smack.
It's under close medical supervision. It's something that I've done hundreds, if not thousands of times before. And you can certainly understand that those people in there were not completely on the, shall we say, normal side of the fence. And this will help us get in touch with that, what might be a different type of science, a different type of part of the universe.
Actually, is this stuff used with PTSD patients at all?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder if it might deal
Are
with
there any
problems or something.
side effects afterwards, by the way?
You're just loopy for a bit, I think.
You wake up feeling great.
Another method of dealing with this could be another spot of burglary. If these guards work nights, they are not home right now. We could, if we could figure out where any of them live, head to their house, simply pick out some of their items of clothing. I could adopt one of their characters for the evening. And
couldn't we also just buy the clothes? They're just pretty standard.
I understand you don't understand how that works. It needs to belong to the guard itself. There's a connection there between. I understand, but
it's
they
not
are stitched together with
uniform,
spiritual threads, Kim.
the uniforms are pretty easy to copy if we want to do that.
Well,
the clothes make the man, but the man also makes the clothes.
So,
Right.
Are you going to dope someone up with Cipotal, and is it going to be Kim, or is someone else going to volunteer?
I'm still good with it.
I'm also volunteering.
I don't see why Cloissoné would be against it at this point. Like I said, this stuff is safe. It's weird, but it's safe.
Okay.
If the argument is that it's safe, then Cloissoné volunteers.
No, you don't. No, you don't, darling.
Mom,
Kim
you just
can make
got
that
done-
decision, and I'm making that decision for you. You will not be taking Dr. Angel's mystical knockout drug. No.
I'm not sure. Well, I understand, and we certainly would not want to use it. Of course, we could do it safely on a child, but we don't need the extra concern.
Cloissoné, you're half my size.
She's not a child. She is my child.
Exactly so, also.
Yeah, you don't want Karen mad at you.
No.
Especially because I think she stole my pants that one time.
Sorry, darling, but no.
All right, so you've got your pick between Jesse and Kim.
Let's see.
And the way the process of the Cipotal trance works is you take it for, you take it, you count backwards from 10, and then your ability to store short-term memory switches off. You go into a highly suggestible state where someone asks you a question, you'll answer. The answer may not make sense, but it won't be deliberately, calculatedly deceptive. It might be like Dutch Schultz babbling, but it won't be a cunning ruse. Then after that, most people go deeper still, but the doctor has found that in that second stage, the deeper still trance, they will talk to him with this other voice, the voice of the Cipotal intelligence. And then usually it gets tired of talking after a while, and the person wakes up.
Yep.
So either one of you, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. I mean, Kim spoke up first, so I would dose
Okay.
Kim.
Are you going to let everyone else be in the room while you talk with Kim/Seepatal?
Maybe the rest of us should go burgle a guard's home.
Sure.
That's what I do.
Okay.
How do you know where a guard lives?
I was trying to figure that out, but
Right.
Oh.
Mhm.
Well, if we
And
can wait till
basic IT
tomorrow night to
competence.
do this, we can wait for one of them to go home after their shift tonight.
Okay, so
just
you guys are
trail
going to
in,
go
yeah.
stake out the guard. Angel, you going to record this or anything? Or
Yeah.
okay,
Use my big camera there.
all right. Are you going to ask Kim any questions while he's in babble state, but still Kim?
I don't. This is just questions that about him, truthfully.
Yeah.
I don't think that unless anybody out of character can think of anything I would need to ask him.
Yeah, that might be a violation of a trust.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So then
just
you
going
get
for
into what you're going to ask Seepatal about.
I'm going to ask it if there. So I'm going to ask it about Count Volpe,
Volpo.
Count Volpo, and his little gang there. If it knows anything about them, and if there's anything that we are, missing or overlooking in our quest to take this away.
Seepatal seems to be real good with weird mystic generalities and not so good with, yes, but how specifically do I fix this car?
Sure.
So, not practical, but things that cannot be learned any other way. What she says...
Yeah, go ahead.
So you ask about Volpo, and she says, there's something wrong with her. I don't understand her body. Something hairy shines through her like moonlight, and it's hungry, and it doesn't have sense. It's like an untrained boy. It's angry and biting. As an aside, Seepatal almost always assumes that everyone she's talking about is female.
Okay.
From what you've gathered about the previous universe in which she lived, it was some kind of gynarchy.
Very unlucky.
What else are you going to ask about?
Ask about the purple thing.
Yes. Then okay. So I guess I would have learned about that from.
I certainly filled you in on my
So yes, definitely about the purple thing.
I can't
Robin,
see
the
that
purse.
woman. There's something around her like a cloud of blood floating in water. She's hidden. It's all around her. She is in a world of pain. I think her mate was killed.
Okay. And what about the ritual that Count Volpo was trying to do?
He's not very good with his energies. He was trying to grow a connection to an object of, I can see it very clearly. It's a big head, right? A great decapitated power. That might be our own Countess Dyer, the Mender of Destinies. We would summon her every 100 years to do awesome and terrible rites. If you roll that stone away, the memories will be unblocked. Worlds older than my crystal caves, but who will read them? I don't know. I don't know. He was trying to unlock it, but it's like trying to put a key in the lock of a door that's hundreds of miles away. Hundreds, maybe thousands of miles to the south.
Mm-hmm.
In Ohio, perhaps.
Perhaps. Any other suggested topics, you guys?
The cold androgyne.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Mr.
So you're also tracking, aren't you?
I can track that. I have I can check right now, I suppose, Greg. Where is that garment? Is it anywhere near?
It's in a nearby hotel.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, I will ask the Seepatal about the hooded figure, the weird Mr. Robot guy there, or thing.
They've destroyed their name and made peace with annihilation. Do not let her pipe in the darkness. More than mere matter listens to her.
Ugh.
Great.
That just leaves green t-shirt if we want to do a complete sweep.
Ask if there's anything magical in the purse.
Oh yeah, Kelly's purse. The it was moving.
I don't know anything about that, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, Doctor.
And I'd also the we didn't really find out much about the Beefy Buster's girl there. So
Mousy
You
man.
gonna ask about the pair of them?
Yeah, the large man, the bodybuilder, and his mousy friend there. Yeah.
He's a man who is out of his natural place in the world. He behaves disgracefully towards her, but then other times he behaves exactly appropriately with her. The two of them are sick and evil, Doctor, in the most commonplace of ways. The weaker one acts strong and the last one acts first. Anything else? Cipatal's starting to yawn, which usually means that the body's waking up.
I think that's it. So we'll make sure that Kim wakes up and has a lovely, comfortable night's sleep.
All right. Good talking to you, Doctor. Watch
you.
out for the two of them you didn't see.
it's good to know.
One of them
Thank
is
you.
very, very dangerous. The other is your friend.
Great. Thank you.
So is this a good night's sleep after the he has a talk with
What
Cipatel?
does he?
Yeah, you'll feel okay. All right. For the two of you, for the 2 or 3 who went to track the guard. All right. Yeah, it's not going to be particularly hard to find a place, park, occlude yourselves. With a team of 3, between the doctor's camera, Kim's assorted surveillance gear, and your native wits, yeah, you can find out where one of these guards lives. And so the next night, if he's on duty, you might be able to bust in and steal his shit.
All right.
So doing anything over the course of the day, or are you just going to go straight to, or should we just fast forward that until you get the guard's stuff? Actually, is there anything you need to do? Can we fast forward a couple days while you continue to monitor the museum?
I think that's reasonable.
Break into the guard's house. All right.
Could
Jesse,
I have looked into just? I guess. Well, we only have a floor plan.
Just we need a dolly, moving straps, maybe a padded
I'm just wondering if
crowbar.
there's any other more discreet entry and exit points that we aren't catching. But
no, the doors that exist are all the doors you can see. Going through a wall, on one hand, nobody positions a camera with the understanding that someone might go through a wall.
yes.
But the problem with going through a wall is that it's real loud. On the other hand, on the third hand, there's a lot of construction going on in Quebec City pretty much all the time, unless it's the miserable dead of winter.
Is there, when we were on the floor plan, was there any particularly negligent sort of pen testing type stuff that Jesse or I would have noticed, as far as just like getting through
Particularly
the wall?
negligent what?
Penetration testing type stuff, just walls that are just real easy to get through.
Okay. So you see the area here called Dumpster Zone?
Yes. The
And-
dumpster zone, of course.
Yes. So Arts Contemporains is new construction. This stuff is all old. This is glass. This is like the brick that was there before. But this stuff on this wall not quite as it's a little cheaper.
Hmm.
It's not the high quality brick, it's just slab of concrete and probably thinner. So you might be able to bore through there, get in here. This door is not really very well monitored by this camera.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just bore through this wall too, right next to the door. Get the head and bring him back through there. You wouldn't have to go into the cammed areas at all.
How long do we think it would take for us to, assuming no interruptions, to get through those two walls?
20 minutes.
How loud would it be? Because they're going to guards
Right.
patrolling around.
Quite.
Pretty loud.
Yeah.
And the construction's happening during the day, right? It's not night construction of any sort.
Yeah. I mean, maybe let's see. During the nights that you are stalking the guard, one night there's construction. The other night, no construction.
It's not a conveniently placed crane anywhere in the neighborhood, is there? Just checking. One never knows.
Karen, it just struck me actually. That guard that helped you out, if you were to frame things as you giving thanks to a good Samaritan, and that's why you're showing up unannounced on his doorstep, you do, and I don't mean any offense by this, give off the vibes of someone that would do that. That could be a very easy way that you don't even need to, break in so much as just knock on his door and ask.
Was that guard wearing a wedding ring, Greg?
Yep.
Difficult, I'm afraid, Kim. Not impossible, perhaps difficult. Not difficult for me, given a couple of days, but time is limited.
Cloissoné, any ideas?
That was I wasn't using any sort of euphemism there. I was just saying, like, hey, just knock on his door and say thank you very much. Do you mind if I come in?
Yeah, the fact that she knows where he lives might
But
might be a
would it
little
be-
creepy.
Agreed, but would it be out of character for Karen to do that anyway? I'm asking you.
I don't think it would be, but again, he's a day guard, and also my daughter's here, so please keep your aspersions to yourself, sir.
All right.
And as you are talking about this, Jesse gets a phone call.
All right.
Oh.
And it
It's
is
10 o'clock.
it is Mara.
Mara.
So Mara is the woman who talked you into doing this because you owe her $2,000.
The herb woman.
Your barrow, yeah.
Yes.
And so she's like, "Hey, Jesse, so are you in Canada now?"
Should I be? I say.
Well, I know that we talked about how you might want to go up there and do some stuff, and that, we don't need to talk about that now on the phone, but I'm starting to think that maybe you shouldn't do that stuff.
Why should I not?
Well, when I thought it was a good idea that, things would get back the way they ought to be and be better, that maybe it would actually be worse and not the way we want things to be. I may have been misled or confused. So, I mean, you and I will still be, I'll still consider your debt discharged, but yeah, I think it might be better if you just, did some sightseeing and then came home. Like normal.
Can I like assess her voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to check that this call is in fact legit as well on my end.
How are you going to do that? I mean, you don't know that he's gotten this call.
Oh, okay. I thought he was in the.
Are you in the B&B going, pointing at the phone and mouthing Mara's name, or?
If I'm allowed to be in the
Writing.
Airbnb, I'll put it on speaker, just like.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, give me your notice roll.
Oh hell yeah! Ready?
Thinking too much like a player character.
So, yeah, she sounds sincere. You're pretty sure it's actually her. She seems nervous.
Am I sensing anyone around her? That kind of thing.
You can hear like voices murmuring in the background.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Kim, are you getting anything?
Yeah, should I do? I mean,
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can take his phone and start doing tech wonkery on it.
I feel like I would have already let him in.
80,
Like
so.
Mm.
like
Was
in
it
the
a
past.
success?
I don't see anything. That's a failure. Excuse me.
Is that Mara you're speaking to, my herbalist friend? Put her on speaker. I want to say hello.
I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Hey,
Mara, my darling, it's been so long.
hey, yeah, hi, Karen. Boy, my face is real red. You know how I kind of suggested that you and Jesse go on this adventure together? That it might not be the best, most advisable, sensible thing to do that stuff and things.
I'm curious about what herbs to use for cleansing. If, for example, I'm worried about a stranger looming over me, making me do things I don't want to do, I might use sage. If I truly want to get to the base of my own belief, I would use white pine. What would you use in this situation?
I'm burning white pine. 100%.
Okay, yeah, at this point, just straight to interrupt. Okay, can you at least explain why you're calling all of this off, man?
It's hard to explain, but look, what if you had a source of information that told you something was a good idea, and later you found out that that source of information was manipulative and could see signs that you're maybe involved with some people you don't necessarily want to be involved with.
All right.
It's just, can't you just trust me? I mean, you trusted me when I told you to do it. Now, can't you trust me when I'm telling you
It's
not
not that I
to?
don't trust you. I was just kind of wondering what the change of heart was. We did come, drive all the way out here.
Well, restoring balance is only a positive if it's a positive balance. If you're restoring a balance that was oppressive, negative, and destructive, then those factors are more important than the fact that, oh, well, but at least it's a balanced destruction, right?
Sure.
I'm sorry. Oh, and I can't stay on the phone much longer. I gotta let you go. But yeah, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Well, this
I have
been a
had a
waste of
vision
time.
of that head. It was a dreadful thing.
Yes, I have
age
too.
and pain. I don't understand why we're going for this thing in some ways. Dr. Angel, do you have you have a good reason for wanting to go after this thing? I think you sort of spearheaded this on some level.
Listen, every experiment, every practitioner senses or knows in some way that something bad happened in 2003. We need to unlock those memories. We need to figure out what has happened. Why has it happened? We don't know which balance is good and which balance is bad because, let's face it, all of the people who are trying to figure this out are doing so with an agenda. Look at Count Volpo. He's up to something weird, but he's probably some kind of dirtbag like the rest of them. And we need to identify the truth, and we need to figure out what is the balance, what are the sides. We have no idea. And from what I have learned, this head contains the memories. This being, this force, whatever it is, will give us information, will give us knowledge, will give us wisdom to identify for ourselves what the proper course is. And that is why we should continue on our path. We should stop taking the advice of other people who have an agenda that are not merely knowledge and wisdom.
I've seen this thing. Maybe it is best to simply roll it down the hill and let it smash into 1,000 pieces and walk away.
This thing did me a solid, so I'd rather not. But
when has knowledge come from destruction? If I were to rend a garment, am I going to learn something about it?
Much was learned by vivisection, but it's still an abominable act.
First, do no, exactly correct. First, do no harm. We shouldn't vivisect this object to try to learn.
This is not a living being in the same way that you and I are. This is a being of malice and evil.
We don't know what the fuck this thing is.
Ultimately, it is a clay block, or a granite block, excuse me.
We don't know what the
You're
fuck
saying
this
there's
thing
no
is.
there's no power, there's no life in inanimate objects?
I am saying that humans are and should be central to your understanding, Doctor.
Absolutely true.
I would think that your oath binds you to preserving lives of people and not lives of chunks of rock. And this thing it gives me, and with Mara's input, I question the wisdom of this whole enterprise.
Yeah, so it's better to just back off and let Volpo and his creepy crew do whatever they're going to do.
Or knock it down the hill and smash it to 1,000 people.
Can we stop talking about this in terms of weird abstract bullshit? I know that's a lot to ask of you people in particular, but let's think about this practically. All right? The person we were assigned to do this job, and I also had some personal involvement in this. Somehow I owe that head a favor. I don't really know what that means either, but it brought me out here, so that means something. But we just heard that, hey, we were told to do this by shitty intel that could end up hurting all of us. Yes, Volpo and all of his weirdos seem... I'm not even sure they're malicious. I'm not sure if the head is malicious.
They could be as misled as we are.
Jesse?
That's my point, is that, like, we're putting a lot on the fucking line for a lot of vague, okay. That's not the best line of reasoning for these people.
Bad people are looking to do bad things with a bad object.
Do we know that these are bad people? Do we know this is a bad object?
Jesse?
Yes.
What do
Okay,
you-
why? I feel like I'm missing something here, Jesse. Please.
I think that
Well, no, I'm siding with you, Karen. Ultimately, I'm siding with you, Karen. But on the grounds of we don't know what the fuck is happening here, and apropos of everything else, well,
Let Jesse speak his
Yeah.
piece.
we are not the only ones looking for the head.
yeah, we know that now.
I think we should get it before anyone else does.
Why?
Damage we can do would not be as bad as what they could do.
What can we do with this head? I still don't understand.
What could the head do to us?
In my case, kick a drug addiction.
Which is not a small thing.
No,
That's true.
No.
It's not.
I will help you make a hat for it.
If you're joking about making a hat, I find no humor in that. Making a hat is
I will make the hat.
it's an act of creation that is not to be disparaged. But regardless, that's not what we're here for.
I'm being serious.
All right. So, in more practical terms, this head is useful in certain ways, right?
Certainly
Howitzer
seems-
is useful, but I don't
It
want
certainly
a howitzer.
seems like it's got some kind of power that is currently at rest.
Does anyone here know how to use the thing in any way that we can?
It was suggested that if you take it back to Ohio, if you take it back to Ohio, whatever power that it has that is out of whack might return to being in whack.
Okay, so more vague bullshit about balance.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Returning a detonator to a nuclear warhead is not an act of creation.
I mean, you can still blow up a nuclear warhead either way, but
And I mean, so the question is, who's in, who's out? Are you going to split up the gang and some of you attempt to do this? Or, are you going to completely bail because you're like, oh, well, we can't do it without Karen.
Maybe we need to stop whoever else is
oh,
trying to
yeah,
take it.
that is kind of the thing here is that if we're dealing with this less on the angle of, all right, we're taking it for ourselves, and more on the angle of we're making sure.
Okay, so
We're
you
just
guys
gonna
want
take
to
it.
watch and see if you can prevent the others from
Yeah,
stealing
but
it.
Volpo doesn't. He seems weird, but
Volpo's
So are you guys.
partner is a bad thing, or is possessed by a bad thing. Something is bad about her. Volpo might be harmless, but Kelly is not. or
That
whatever.
suburban mom freaks me the shit out,
Yes.
man.
We can take
And,
the head. We don't have
well-
to bring it to Ohio. We can at least have the
Something-
head.
yeah, how the fuck do we move this thing over the border if we do take it?
The Border Patrol is looking for drugs and terrorists, not giant, heavy stone objects. I mean, you could bury it in a pile of dirt and cart that over.
It probably fits in the wheel well, or the spare tire. Well,
Oh, there you go.
That's true. It's 2 feet by 2 feet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, we should have we should obviate all this difficulty. Let's have a straight up and down vote. I'm willing to go with the Cabal ultimately, but my vote is we do not try to steal this thing.
Okay.
I agree there, but I do think we might be a good idea to stick around and make sure that
I agree
those
with
other
Kim.
weirdos don't do something worse
Okay.
with it.
Because they're only going to try once, and then they're going to leave.
Which is why we destroy it.
Well, no, that's why we make sure those people understand
Well,
that they
let's-
shouldn't try this more than once.
All right.
Kim, we've had our say. Jesse?
We can decide to destroy it, to bring it back, to make a hat later when we have it. I say we steal it. We decide what happens after.
Okay. Dr. A wants to it's down to Cloissoné. Cast the tie-breaking vote.
okay, look, I don't have any stake in this. It doesn't benefit me if we steal it or if we don't steal it. My mom told me we had to come here because of some crazy big universe bad mojo, and now she's backing out. But
Well, yeah.
I didn't come all this way.
It's my prerogative to change my mind.
I mean, the plan is to still stick around regardless of just what the fuck we're doing with the thing.
Let the girl vote.
I want to have a talk with you about that later, Mom, but I didn't drive all the way to Canada for no reason. If this is going to help Kim, if this is what we all got together for, then we should do it.
All right.
All right. So, what is the plan?
All right. Since we're in, we have the clothing. We've done our prep work at this point. We have this guard's clothing. I feel like I can potentially dress the part.
Yep.
Okay.
Cloisson. Beg a guard for help. Something bad happened. Come over here. I need you. Karen, say, you two go. I will stay here, protect the gold. and him and
Karen
I.
is a guard.
Yes.
Well, when Karen turns into a guard, she believes she's that person. She has that person's memories and no Karen memories. So you know it is perfectly possible to become another person. So, you know, take Mara's perspective from that, you know, factor that in with Mara acting unaccountably too. But okay, so how do you plan to get in? Are you going to go by night?
Yes.
All right. What's the point of, what's the entry point?
Yeah, so you're still thinking that we just break through the walls?
Two-pronged attack. There's an emergency exit. I could get in there with a big go. And there's a terrace. I say we go both directions at the same time.
Yeah,
Okay.
doubling up, points of redundancy ain't a bad idea.
Penetrated from both ends.
Yep.
How are you, so
Well
just
put.
climbing onto the terrace?
There were those concrete walls.
There's
right?
the loose door and there's the dumpster
loose door.
zone.
Right.
I believe are the two.
Dumpster zone, yeah.
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 The loose exit door.
I
So you could cut your way in here, or you could just hop the fence here. You'd have kind of a gap here, but you might be able to climb your way across and get into the terrace without having without passing in at all.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think that the
But then you'd have to force this door, get through here, and get past these cameras. But again, you know, Karen, if she can turn invisible, could presumably knock those cameras out.
Yep. You
But-
can get that silly string, no problem.
What are the guards going to be doing when they see this camera go down and this camera go down? They're going to go look and see what's happening.
The guards will be distracted because I will be in the Subaru on the opposite side of the building
Mhm.
in some kind of outfit that my mom makes for me that makes me look like a damsel in distress, begging for help.
I don't think you need an outfit for that one.
But women
Okay.
are better with one.
So you're going to, pound on the emergency exit, pound on the front door, and scream for help?
Definitely.
Yeah, the emergency exit or the door at the cafe,
Okay.
somewhere I can't get in.
I'm thinking a heavily clothed young Amish girl in distress. Wouldn't have to reveal anything at all.
No.
Just disarray your bonnet a little bit, and
Okay.
and there you go.
All right.
There's a small Amish population in the area, I believe.
Well,
Right,
that
right.
makes her stick out even more.
Greg, I'm gonna
But
put
that's all they'll remember. Okay. Time is kind of tick-tocking away here.
Yeah, we've talked a lot.
Give me a quick rundown of how you're doing this thing. Real fast.
All right, I will hide in the bathroom at close with my invisibility cloak on.
Mhm.
I'm wearing the guard's clothing, my USSR hat, and the karate belt in place of, or tied at least loosely around my waist.
To do the martial arts stuff, you have to have the whole outfit. You can have one outfit on at a time.
I'm just looking for the minor charge thing where I can use it for one check if necessary.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Greg,
Yo.
I put these shoes on. I can't.
Yeah. You actually
Nice.
made them. That's amazing.
Nice.
Outstanding. All right. So you're hiding out invisibly. You know, when the time comes, you invisibly exit the bathroom and go do what? Disable the cameras?
I'll put on my Pucci cloak of Gygas here, 70s designer Pucci, and I will hide until that things are closed. We have synchronized our cell phone watches, and the time is nigh. I will go on out, and with the silly string that I've been given, I will go over those cameras.
Okay. Then Cloissoné will create a distraction at the emergency exit door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so while the cameras are down and the guards are distracted by her, you guys will force the far side door, come through, go through the terrace door, get the head, load it up, haul it back out through the emergency exit, and go. That's the plan.
That's the plan.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Ready to do it?
Yes.
Do it.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
Roll to turn invisible.
Oh boy.
All right. Let me get my.
So I will be bringing my gun along for this ride.
Okay.
All right.
Is it Jesse? Who is going to move the head and who is going to be the getaway driver?
I think I should probably help. Is it a good idea for me to help with moving this? Because this is something you're lifting with your legs, not your back. Neither idea is a good one.
You think you can be helpful. I mean,
Okay.
You got the guns.
Yeah, I think if things go sideways, well, do we want to start shooting? No, I don't want to recommend shooting.
No, I meant the
the
metaphorical guns.
Okay,
I have
yeah.
both. I have both.
So you don't have anyone waiting in the car. The car's just going to be sitting there. Okay.
Doctor, what will you be doing?
That's a good. I mean, I could be the wheelman. It's my car.
Yeah.
I probably.
Well,
know
actually,
it.
it's Kim's truck.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Kim's truck? Okay.
Yeah, you
well,
probably can't fit
yeah.
the head in your car.
I mean, I could be the wheelman.
Ditch
Or I
the
could help
spare
move.
tires so we
You
can put
think
it in
it's,
that wheel well.
Which is better?
All right, you want to do it in your car?
No, we definitely should. I don't.
Yeah, use the pickup. Use the pickup.
Oh, it's not a pickup. It's a panel van. It's like
Beautiful.
It's like a serial killer van,
Nice.
basically.
Great.
Definitely use the serial killer van.
Free candy van.
Free candy van. Yeah.
All right. So you're in the driver's seat.
Yep.
The two of them are going to move it. Okay.
Well,
Right.
Karen, Karen, see, we need
I
three
can
people
help.
to move it. Or
I'm
can
fit.
Karen?
Two of you might be able to. The way it's going to work, if the two of you are trying to move it, make athletics rolls, and one of you has to succeed.
Doctor, I do Pilates. I can help.
All right.
So we got
With
three
three
people
of
on
you,
the
you can
scene.
do it without a roll.
Yeah, I mean, she's on scene, so she can
All right.
certainly help.
Okay.
All right.
She could probably even let you in through the emergency door, so you won't have to pick it.
All right.
Okay, so make that roll.
I got a 56. I will flip-flop it to 65, which gives me
1 hour and 5 minutes.
Right.
Okay. All right. So when the time comes, Cloissoné, give me a lie roll to convince them that you are a deeply distressed Amish girl.
All right. I'm a child of dirtbag origins, so I actually have a pretty good score at this.
Is that
Excuse me.
Look, Leo was a lovely man, but he was obviously a dirtbag.
I'm going to fail with an 84.
Okay.
Do you have a passion that you can activate here?
If succeeding for my mom fits as family loyalty, I'll flip-flop it.
Man, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, so you're pounding on the door, and one guard comes by looking not at all, opens the door and is like, what? He does not seem charmed by you.
Right.
What do you tell him?
Je m'appelle Chastity. Avec, I'm sorry, do you speak English?
Yeah, look, you gotta not be here right now.
Oh, please, my car.
Okay, go to the all-night coffee shop, call the police from there. You can't be in this building. This will not help you. Go there, call the gendarme. And he slams the door.
Yeah, okay.
So Karen, you're silly stringing one of the cameras, and you see, one of the guards is going through, and he's got eyes like the tops of coffee takeaways, and hand on the butt of his gun, and then you hear a little sound, and he like spins, and the sound is like laughter, and like high creepy laughter.
Is Hoodie Guy in the building by any chance?
I don't know. You gonna go look around?
Well, no, I have the guy whose clothes I touched. I can track
Oh.
that hoodie of his.
No, that hoodie's still in the hotel.
Okay, all right, just checking.
But yeah, you've got the camera. You don't need to roll for that.
Okay.
Guards look at, he's sweating. All right. What you do?
I will play it cool and expend a couple of precious minutes of invisibility here. And I will text under the cloak here to let folks know, with the light on the lowest possible setting on the phone, that we have that Cloissoné has not played the damsel as well as she might have. Another distraction might be needed.
All right, so the guard is walking along, and you hear something from his radio, and he, pulls that out and speaks in French. French. And he's walking a circuit. He, passes into special expositions. You gonna follow him? What are you doing?
I'm just getting a map up here. Special exhibitions.
All right.
On the right.
On the right. Yep, that is exactly where we don't want him to be. I'll text and say not yet. Can I notice anything where that noise is coming from, or?
Sure, you don't need to roll. It's coming from Mesoamerique.
Oh, creepy masks. I guess I will head that way, which is not where the guard is, you said.
Right.
So,
well, there's another guard there, the one who was talking to Cloissoné, and he is looking around, and when you come up the hall, he spins and has the gun halfway out. He's holding it down, finger outside the trigger guard, but he comes out, he's standing 3 feet from you, looks right through you, looks down the hall, clearly alert and freaked.
I am dead, stock still, barely breathing.
And then he backs away into Mesoamerique and is, continuing to look around.
Any further giggling?
Not yet. Where are you going?
I will make my Jesus. So that's 2 guards accounted for. All right, I'll go to Colon Francais and just wait for that guard to leave the special exhibits area.
Oh yeah, by the time you get there, he's in 20e siècle, where you've got to take out another camera.
Right.
And he and the first guard have met at entree and are talking in very intent, low French voices.
Mm. Oh, all right. So they're up towards entree?
Yeah.
All right. So nobody's in 20e siècle.
Nope.
I can spray that down.
The one you need to get is in the special exposition.
Okay, my bad. Then I will head that way and hit that and open the door.
Okay. And back towards Mesoamerique, you can hear more of that laughter.
Oh, Lord. All right.
Okay. You guys get the cart in. Give me a roll to get through the door to the terrace.
What am I roll? Yeah.
Jesse's there, right? This would be Jesse doing his burglary thing.
Yes.
I got a 10.
Nice. Yeah. They are not super worried about the door being opened from this side. I mean, it's basically move the bar, turn the knob, click, click, bada bing. So yeah, you got the 3 of you get out there and are manhandling the head onto the onto your dolly. Give me a notice roll, Dr. A.
Alrighty then. Notice 45. So 36.
You have an identity that does. Okay, you succeeded.
Yeah, I succeed. Yeah.
Okay, you see someone coming towards you.
From which? Just from the front of the museum, or
No, from off to the side, farther to the right.
Okay.
ew? Who do I just notice it as a person? Do I notice anything about them? And
Big tall guy.
big tall guy. And could I put the headlights on them? Well,
You
then
sure
the
can.
guards would see.
They might not.
They might not. Do I have a flashlight or something that I could put on him that would be more
Got
direct?
your cell phone.
Okay, yeah, I'll put the cell phone light on this figure.
It's Man Steel. Oh, whom you know as the big guy with the green t-shirt.
The big guy with the green t-shirt. And I know...
Beefy Buster.
yeah.
Yeah.
Out of his...
His actual name is even more ridiculous than the one you gave him.
out of his natural place in the world.
Right.
All right.
And he's coming towards you. Oh, and he kind of throws an arm up and speeds up. He is
throws an arm up
rushing, like in annoyance.
Oh, okay. I keep the light on him. I say, "Oh, hello, sir. Can I help you? Are you in trouble?"
And he's like, "No, you're in trouble." And he pulls out a very large revolver and points it at you through the window. It's like, "Okay, man, listen. This is how this is going to go down. It's going to go down one of two ways. One of them ends with me having the head, and one of them ends with me painting the inside of this car with your brain. Do you believe me?"
Do I believe him?
Give me that notice roll.
That is a 41. What is my notice? Yeah, I make the notice roll.
His hands are shaking and his pupils are tiny and he is sweating like the pig who knows it's dinner. He maybe seems more nervous than you. Yeah, where is Cloissoné at this juncture? Are you coming back to the van, or are you going off to the outback to be like, well, wait for Mom to show up, I guess?
I think,
Is Matt frozen again?
yeah, I think he is.
Damn it. All right.
Damn it, Matt. All right. So let's see. I can try to.
Okay.
Cloissoné said he's going to circle around the back, keeping an eye out for weirdos on the chat.
We've definitely got a weirdo.
Yeah.
Oh, not in the back of the building though. It's in the
Well, yeah,
side,
you
I guess,
can't circle the back of the building, so
Right.
she'd have to. All right.
So, I'm not a psychologist, but I am a licensed physician. I've dealt with a lot of people in a lot of weird nervous states. I'm going to try to coerce him in some kind of way and kind of talk him down off the ledge. If that's
All right. Give me connect.
Connect. Yeah, that's all right.
Welcome back, Cloissoné.
That is a 57, but does that count as healing the body and spirit and I can re-roll it?
You're not trying to heal him. You're trying to manipulate him.
Manipulate him. Fair.
You're trying to keep him from doing
That's not
something
mutually
that will
exclusive.
give him a lot of psychic damage on some level.
Yeah. So I'm not seeing anything that's going to let me re-roll or flip-flop. Does it fall under because I'm a licensed physician is the only other thing?
No, they don't teach you how
They don't
to
teach me how to manipulate people. So that's just a failure then.
Okay, so
57.
because it's scary having a
gun.
The gun looks like
Yeah.
the barrel is the size of a tunnel. You can't tell if he's serious or not. You don't think that shooting you is his first choice.
Right.
It's like, okay, get the fuck out of the car. Lie down on the ground.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do then.
Okay, he handcuffs one wrist to one ankle.
Okay.
And Cloissoné, were you going around? You can't get to sort of the back without acrobatically climbing You would have to parkour over the
Terrace.
the art contemporary building to get into the terrace from the side you were on. You could go around the front and check out the van.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, you get there just in time to see the big guy in the green t-shirt pulling him out of the truck and, putting him down on the pavement. And then he takes this giant gun and sticks it in the back of his pants and pulls out a pair of cuffs. What you doing, Cloissoné?
This is really out of my wheelhouse.
I mean, I've taught you a few things, Cloissoné.
Sorry?
I've taught you a few things.
And he is laser focused on the man in front of him. He's in the tunnel right now. He's not paying attention to anything else.
Okay.
But
I'm small and little. I approach from behind and I take his weapon.
Okay. Give me that.
Wow.
Okay, first off, give me secrecy.
Child of dirtbag origins. 14
never.
success.
Okay. Yeah, he does not know you're there. Now give me struggle to snatch it out of his waistband before he can pivot and do stuff.
That's not going to be as good.
Any passions?
Not really. Ooh, matched failure.
Oh.
Things are not going well in the parking lot.
Everything's going great on the inside. You guys get that head down on there just as smoothly as if you practiced it. You're pushing the thing, and then you hear a gunshot go off.
Oh, no.
I'm going to need to do a test for fear, won't I?
Yeah.
All right, so that is a violence test.
Actually, how much hardened have you gotten violence?
I have 4 notches in violence.
So hearing it gives you a turn, but I don't think you need to make a check.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a bad sound. And then you hear someone screaming inside the museum. And then you hear that creepy laughter. Hee 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 hee. What y'all doing?
I am pulling my gun out.
Okay.
How close does this laughter sound?
Too close.
Good answer.
Close to us moving the head.
So you guys are almost to the door.
And did this scream sound audibly like a teenage girl's?
Kinda, but
Okay.
everyone sounds like that when they scream.
That's fair.
Did this scream sound like my daughter's? I wouldn't know that.
Yeah, that's also fair.
You don't think so, but
Okay.
it's hard to tell.
Okay.
It was definitely from inside the museum, though.
Oh, you said inside the
ignore
museum.
that?
Okay.
And are you gonna keep pushing the head out towards the van?
Well, 3 people are not needed at this point. You
I
two
will
take it. You two keep pushing. And I'm going to head towards Mesoamerica to get the lay of the land.
Oh.
Invisibly.
Okay. Back to Cloissoné. So you grabbed just as he turned, and he just looks at you, startles, and then there's this giant meaty fist eclipsing the moon. Let me see how hard Man Steel punches. He punches pretty hard.
Oh.
He missed 01 by a point. It was an 02. But yeah, that's
good, right?
That's
Well, yeah, blackjack.
Yeah.
2.
it hurts incredibly. It feels audible. He had not gotten you cuffed though by the time he she snuck up on him. So you're on your stomach and you hear the sounds of scuffle. Looking over your shoulder, you look over your shoulder just in time to see that meteorite-like fist hit her face. What do you do?
Hmm. Emergency anesthesia is not really a thing, is it?
It's called chemical restraint, and you would have had to prepare it beforehand.
Exactly.
Also, it's not as easy as it seems in the movies. Yeah.
So I mean,
How long does it take for your
Decide
drug
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
wait. What happened to the gun? It went off. So it went off, and where did it?
You heard a gunshot, yeah. But he doesn't seem to have it in his hand.
But I don't see it.
So you're looking for.
I need to see where the gun went.
It's still in the back of his pants. Right. But that's your action. All right, the three of you come on out and can see him sprawled on the ground and an indistinct figure in front of the van. Oh, actually, Karen was going first, right?
I was headed to Mesoamerica.
Oh, you were headed to Mesoamerica. So the two of them come out and see this shit show going down. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Mom.
Well, I don't know. Well, yeah. Anyway,
I have my gun out already, so I am going to. So I'm going to point it in the direction. How far off am I from the car?
Not far at all.
Okay, so
you hear another gunshot though, and this one is deeper and farther away. So Cloissoné, it hurt a lot when he punched you, but not as much as it hurts when you get shot.
Oh no.
Here, I was going to ask about the violence check from getting punched. Never mind.
Yeah, no, make a violence check from being shot in the leg with a slug that you would use to hunt moose.
Oh.
8 success.
Okay, yeah, you're keeping it together. You saw a muzzle flash from way off in an alley across the street. And now that, you're looking for it, you can see one of those little red laser pointer dots just kind of dancing around the side of the truck. Mansteel pulls his gun out. You two have now arrived on the scene, and you've gotten to your feet. So there's 3 of you, but him plus the gun. And Cloissoné, are you screaming?
I feel like I have to keep it together because I'm not as weird as all my weird friends. I don't know if that's enough after getting shot with a huge slug.
So you're trying
just
not
being
to.
shocked.
Yeah, you made your check. You have volition. Okay, so you're just gasping, and Mansteel looks down and kind of turns pale. And let's do a check for him.
Should I do a fear check also?
You still don't have to. And he looks down, and he just, his arm just drapes, and he is just staring at Cloissoné, and he seems switched off.
I want to disarm him.
Okay, yeah, you just go up and take the gun out of his hand.
Okay.
What are you guys going to put the head in the truck?
Yes.
Okay. Would it be fair to say that... Actually, can I do a nose check to notice that this is not a gunshot? The gun in his hand is not the one that shot Cloissoné.
No, you're not holding it. The situation is very hectic. Yeah. It didn't sound... Yeah.
It didn't sound close enough to be that.
Yeah, it's confusing. There is another shot, and it shatters the windshield.
Oh. Okay. Can I do a notice check to see where that's coming from?
Yep. All right. It's outside a handgun range.
And I know this isn't usually how fear works, but and I fill out this test because I'm freaking the fuck out right now and really want to know where this bullet's coming from.
You don't need to. You know exactly where it's
Okay.
coming from. You saw the muzzle flash. It's way down in the alley. Someone has a long-range weapon. All you have is a short-range weapon.
Okay.
What you should
where-
do is hide behind the engine block where the bullets
Yes.
can't penetrate and get Cloissoné and drag her to safety.
Is she okay, yeah, I'm gonna grab for her.
All right, you're going to have to go out where that dude can shoot at you to do
I'm
that.
I'm aware.
Okay. So you're going into the fire.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna go in there and then just try to bring her around to the other side of the engine block as quickly as I can.
I'm right there. I'm gonna say, stay under cover. I'll get her, drag her behind, both of us behind on the other
you're
side. You're
not really communicating very well. The two of you both close in on her and hustle her around where? Into the back of the truck?
on the other
Behind the engine block.
from where the shooting is coming from.
We don't want to be shot again. Well, we don't want.
Are you gonna load the head? It'll take you a little bit.
No, not right now. No, fuck.
Okay.
Not.
She's in the presence of a doctor.
Yes. Start. Help her.
Fair,
Jesus
yes.
Christ, help
First
her.
aid, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think
we should not be trying to load this head into the truck while we're
She's
getting
bleeding
shot
out.
at.
Yes.
Well,
daughter's
the
shooting
angle
her.
is such that, you're as much undercover loading the head as you would be.
I'll help him.
Mance?
Okay, yeah.
You
I'm
get the
going to
head,
be
I'll
keeping
help
a
Cloissoné.
gun trained on man-steal while I'm helping Jesse.
Yeah, he is just in a fugue state. I mean, Dr. A has seen this kind of conversion state before. He's not capable of choosing to do anything.
Don't worry about him. Get it in the van. I'll help the girl. I'm gonna
All right.
medicine her.
You come around and you see the two guards. Karen, you come around, you see the two guards crouched over the third, who is clutching his chest and lying there bleeding. They are yelling into phones, radios. You can hear sirens starting in the distance.
Oh no.
They are trying to pack the wound, but boy, that puddle is spreading out.
Does one of the guards have their guns out? Is there a shattered window? Is there anything I can see that might explain
They're
this?
holding their guns, but you don't know. You don't know.
Okay. Is there anything else amiss? Is there anybody in the room that might be doing the laughter? I will try to make a notice check then to take in any details that aren't immediately obvious.
You know what? I'll just give it to you.
Sure.
So on one of the shelves where they had and it's, one of the glassed-in shelves that is pressure contained. So, you've got spooky mask, scary bat god, and then crowded in between the scary bat god and the, figure with corn growing out of its head is this ratty purple stuffed rabbit.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Is it currently giggling or moving or
Nope,
active in
just
any
sitting
way? Okay.
Excuse me.
Boy, I don't need to be part of this action. And
There's three grown men with pistols. Clearly, they have this situation completely under control. Bye bye. I'd only get it their way. Ta ta.
Have the gunshots happened at this point for me? Outside?
What do you mean happened?
Have I heard the gunshots from outside? The sniper rifle.
Well, it's
or
more
well-
just a hunting rifle. It's not a sniper rifle.
A hunter
But-
rifle being used for sniping, nonetheless. Anyway, I will. I'm just gonna boogie out of there. I want no part of this.
Okay, you get there, jump up in the back and see Cloissoné just covered with blood.
Right.
Looks like she fell into a slaughterhouse.
Oh no.
Okay. At that point, is the doctor standing over her or anything?
Yeah, the doctor is doing doctor stuff. He's got tons of gauze, gloves. He got a mask from somewhere.
Had it in my bag.
Give me that roll on hell.
All right. That's here we go. That is a 61, which is good enough because I'm 65 on physician.
Yeah, it was a through and through. It didn't hit the bone. It went through the gastrocnemius muscle.
Sure
Miss, so that's gonna hurt. But as long as she doesn't bleed out, which she won't because you're packing it with gauze and applying pressure.
Yep.
It's
Doctor, will she be all right?
She'll be fine. I communicate what you just said, other than the part that it's really, really going to hurt. They'll figure that one out later. But, it didn't hit anything major. It's just a through and through. It's gone through some muscle. Which
through and through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I explain it using my physician-y bedside
Then we should
manner.
go. We should go.
Okay.
We should go.
Who's gonna get behind the wheel?
Not me.
I will take the car. He and the doctor's busy right now.
Yes.
Have we loaded the head in yet?
Yes, you guys got the head in.
All right.
There is something else going on in that museum that is going to take people's attention away. So let us go.
Yes, but we still we're peeling out, and I'm explaining. We still have our windshield blown out, and we were still caught near the side of this thing. We need to drop this car off as soon as possible and load this head somewhere else.
All right. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As you're, well, no, you know what? I'm not even going to add anything else. I think that was enough. You guys get to the Airbnb, transfer stuff over into, move the head into what? Dr. Colbard's car? Boy, that's going to ride low.
Super more space.
Nothing is as good an explanation to a border guard than a white physician.
Listen,
Well, Angel, maybe not white, but
we can get the windshield fixed. I mean, that's not an unheard of thing.
Yeah, the windshield is shot out. There is blood spattered all over the side of the car and all over the interior.
That's a little harder to deal with. We should probably burn that.
We're just going to have to dump it. We're just going to have to dump it, and I'm going to have to...
Get your ass a new van.
Well, yes, and we're going to grab the... Well, shit. I'm going to grab the plates just to make sure and just throw them somewhere.
Yeah, so much computer stuff. You can't fit all this in the Outback if it's...
If there's a brazen head in the back, no.
I can't remember exactly what gun you took off of Man Steel, but it was immense.
Yeah.
Just like a real big...
Desert Eagle thing.
Yeah.
Revolver.
Yeah. But
I mean... I'm
probably a 357.
Yeah. If I'm thinking of this in terms of, like, losing money, then I can probably make it back just by pounding this thing.
So, all right. Y'all manage. Now, the question is, are you going to take the head back to America with you, or are you going to get like a storage unit and stash it till the heat dies down?
I'm in favor of the latter.
I'm in favor of not bringing it anywhere near Ohio.
All right. So you hide the head. Dr. Coulbard performs some crude but entirely adequate surgery on Cloissoné. Gets her leg closed up.
If the pain gets too bad, a little Cipitol will really help.
Actually, you've got something that's better for pain than Cipitol. You've got a bag of tricks. You can keep her mellow. And so, yeah, you guys stick the head in a garage, slam the door, and move on with your lives. So you have successfully stolen the head of the Count Saint-Germain and gotten it away from Count Volpo and his crew. For now, at least.
Nice.
So yeah, in the next session, whoever proceeds, you get to take on the roles of the other crew.
Nice.
Or some members. Yeah, they outnumbered you guys and were much more oriented towards fighting. So the last game, I'm trying to remember who it was who died in the last game. I think it might have been the doctor. Caught one in the neck.
Oh.
Yeah, it was hairy. So, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
Thank everyone.
yeah, it was a great time.